Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Yes, so just to recap on our story of yesterday. So we went to the gynecologist, got bad news. Our faith was shaken. Fast forward, Tricky she was going in labor, and we had to make the decision if we wanted to see our baby, or because I thought initially, I thought it would be weird. And we also, had to make a decision about naming the baby.
Weird in a sense that the baby was still very small. I mean, that was 6 months.
Yeah, we didn't know what the baby was going to look like. Yes. And so Tricky got great advice at that moment. Somebody spoke to her and said, you have to acknowledge this life. You have to acknowledge that this child is a part of who you are, because I think for a lot of people, when it comes to grief, we want to rush past it. We want to kind of ignore it or deny that it's happening. And I think it was kind of the same for us. It almost felt like we just wanted to get this over with, to move on.
And I think years, like in the earlier years, our parents and their parents, when something like this happened, it was a very quick process.
It wasn't really spoken about.
No, and it would be labor and the child would be gone and you won't even have the option to see a child, So I believe there's a lot of people out there that also struggles with that today. That child that they were pregnant with, that does exist but does not exist. So yeah, we had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, and I think, in retrospect, it was such great advice, because firstly, the fact is that child is, it is our child.
Yes.
That child,
it's a human being.
That child lives.
Yes.
We will see that child again.
Mm-hmm.
And so baby was born, and he didn't live. He lived a few seconds. But we had the opportunity to hold him in our arms, and we took time there. And I think, looking back, that was really great, and it was important. And I want to encourage you, if you're in the same situation, pause and take time there. And that's also where his name comes from.
Yeah, we had to make a decision, choose a name for him. We haven't even had a name, until that moment. So we had to make this decision to name him. What is it going to be? And my husband actually came up with the name Selah, Selah,
Yes.
which means it's actually a Hebrew word meaning to stop and think about it. So to stop and reflect. And it suited the moment and the situation so perfectly.
Yes.
So that was his name.
That's his name.
Yeah,
and that's also the name of the series,
Yes.
because when it comes to grief, what we want you to understand is that you have to stop and take a moment.
Don't rush.
A lot of people want to force people past grief.
Yes.
And
or you think you have to be strong, trying to impress people, or don't show your weakness. And I think that's one of the myths.
Yes,
of
dealing with grief successfully.
Grief. Yes, because a lot of people think, you pretend to be strong, and then you are strong, and then you just get past it.
And you keep face and show the world that you are better than this, and this thing won't.
Yes, and actually, it's acknowledging the situation and what is going on in the moment. I mean, if we look at the world, if you at a job and you get what do you call that leave?
Compassionate leave, when
it's
something
a week.
happens.
It's a week. The world gives us a week. Don't you give yourself a week. Respect yourself enough to take time. Don't let anybody tell you anything else. Take your time, as long as it takes.
Yes.
There's no cookie cutter answer to all of these things.
Yes, and there's no set time for dealing with this.
No.
People deal different lengths of time with it, but I think the first step in dealing with it is just to acknowledge that this is happening.
Yes. So today, Selah.
Yes.
Stop and think about it. Take it in, process it, and give yourself time to acknowledge what is going on. Yeah.
God bless you.